All right, everybody. I realized something while I was on my break. Okay, I'm back. This is a series. Hopefully you can find the playlist 7575 if you're all right there, music. I don't know if that's my system or... Let's go to the next one there. Hello? I wonder if I sound all jacked up or not. You guys hear that? I don't know if that's YouTube or what. Let's try starting it over. Maybe we don't get music anymore. So, unfortunately, I'm still live here. So, anyways, what I figured out here is that this can't work because this is like 8 inches long. So what is that? So basically, I have to half this or something. Yeah, 226. I can only do like 180. So there's going to have to be a seam up the middle of this, which will be fine for this side because I'm going to have a phone on each side, right? And this one, it'll be fine. It'll just look a little bit strange, which is all right. The thing is that this seam is not in the middle of this because of this offset. And actually, it won't matter. If I put a seam even through this phone, it won't matter because I'll have an insert, right? Let's see if this is doing better now. Yeah, I think YouTube is lagging, which is weird. It shouldn't be. I have the super good internet now, so I don't see why it would be. Let's see what happens here when I go back to that song we were on. I think it was this one. Sounds better. This is Grit and Soup Chords. I don't know if that's a song. Grit and Sour Chords, sorry. Anyways, okay, so let's do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to half this thing. And I'm just going to simply half it. And if I don't like the seam, then I'll change it later. Okay, but for this, we're just going to half it. So if it's 226.55. So the problem is if I half this, the seam is going to be halved. I guess it doesn't matter because this will mostly be underneath. This will all mostly be hidden by the existing console that's in the truck. I only left this solid just to kind of for strength and whatever. So if this seam is off from this seam, it shouldn't really matter. So we're looking at 113.225. 113.225 is what this should be. So that should make this half. Yeah, see, 113.225, and then we'll have to make this again here, basically. So another question I have is, can I pocket through multiple bodies if I start another body? Because that would be useful here, because what we could do is we could make these holes. We could make a hole through both of these right here for our screws, if I could pocket through both of those with one pocket. I don't know if I can or not, but okay, so we are going to need their front number 2. Now here's another question, is can I just go Control C to this body, push OK, and then Control V, their front 01. So I can do that, and now if I open this, can I change this sketch to do that? See that? So I need to go the other direction. So if I go minus 113.225, what does that do? There we go. So now that puts me right back where I was with a seam. So I can 3D print this piece. The other question I have is all of this within my tolerances? So before I clone this one, let's come in here and look at this sketch here. 130, and we don't actually know. Oh wait, maybe we do. This is 177.85. We need to subtract this from that to figure out what our thing here is here. I'm gonna put this over here so I can see it. I need to fix my phone. It's a little not right. Well, it's a lot not right. And I don't know if it's my fault or this new screen I got's fault. I wonder if you can buy Apple parts and put them on yourself. Okay, this should be good. It's about 170 or 169 millimeters. I didn't do the decimals, so I don't really need to know the exact number, because I'm just going to clone this and then I'll copy this and then move it over. But it will do, well actually, yeah, I can print it up anyways. So depending on how I print this, well no, I would print this on the bottom, but it should fit at 169. 180 is about my max, so should be good there. So basically, if we just copy now this body, Control C, okay, and then Control V, okay, they're front back 01. Okay, so now all we need to do is move the sketch, this thing, to minus 113.225. That brings it over there. See that? Okay, so now the question is, can I pocket through multiple bodies? So what I would want to do here, I guess, is make a new body. Let's try this and see. Okay, yeah, I know. I don't know why that matters. So, and I don't know, hopefully I'm not messing this thing up. It said sketch 12, so this is sketch 12, right? So this says sketch 1, or a 10, I mean. Yeah, so it named it again to something else. See that? Sketch 10, this one's sketch 9. So is this one sketch 11? Yeah, see. So it's renaming it, so it should be good there. I've never copied a body before and repeated it, so hopefully that's all right, and I think we will fillet this when we get done. I always do that at the end because Freecad, I don't know, it will error out. If you fillet this and then you go back and change this, say it's not the right size or whatever, then it will error and you'll have to redo the fillet. So you just always do it at the end and then it's better. Okay, so this is going to be our pocket. And if I can pocket through multiple things, I may be able to just draw this out and pocket through all 4 of these pieces with one. So let's attempt that. Okay, so we're going to rename it as pocket, top pocket, hot pocket. Okay, so now we're going to do a sketch in that body, and we want it to be on this one right here. Okay, so yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to pocket out an area in here. I'm not going to make this we're not going to do this too well at first. We're just going to want it to go out of this. Okay, we will come back and redo this as far as the actual constraints later, because I don't know if this is going to work. So let's try it first. Okay. So if I click pocket, yeah, see, I don't think it's going to work because there's nothing to subtract, and it's not going to subtract through bodies that aren't there. Okay, so I'm glad that I tried that before I did all the exact locations. So I'm going to have to pocket each one of these inside of itself. Now the thing is, I will be able to copy that pocket and put it over to the other one, right? So the screen on this says it's totally and completely barbaric. Alternative metal industrial royalty-free music. Does this seem totally and completely barbaric to you? So, so let's make a sketch in here. So we'll be working on this model here. And basically, let's go through and mute all these so that we know what we're doing. Do a sketch. Okay. I had to activate the body there. So we want to go through this one, right? Actually, I just thought about this. Let's delete that sketch. Let's go into here and copy this sketch. And then we'll just adjust it. So copy that sketch. Okay. Then push Control B, and it's going to put it down here. And then we're just going to drop it into there. I don't know why it makes that thing. So this sketch now, so see how it's already located exactly the same and everything. All we need to do is just change it a little bit. So like this piece here, we don't want it to be 60. So if we want a 5mm edge here, then this should be 55, right? See how that pulls that in, right? So that should be good. For this edge right here, where's the constraint? Oh, there it is. Okay, so this one, we want a 5mm edge up there. So this should be 40, okay? How come that doesn't look right? Would I have a 5mm there? Because this doesn't, 5mm here doesn't give me the same angle. So it's closer, but off the other way. This really won't matter because this will be hidden underneath. But do we get it right, or so let's do this instead. Let's delete this constraint here. What we're gonna do is grab an angle and go from here to here, and we'll see that angle is at 123.69. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna we want this thing to be 40, we'll say. We make that 40, and then we make this angle 123.69. I think it will automatically change it to the length that we want. So we know this angle is 123.69. See, so that actually fully constrained us too, right? We can pull this out somewhere to where we can actually see it. Okay, so that angle should be the same. This should be about 5mm. and then this one will be fatter because it has to be. But you know, I don't know. It's probably gonna be good enough there. So let's close that. So now we have that, and so now what we need to do is pocket it, but we need to move it 5mm in and then pocket out however far that is. So I don't know if we change this position to -5. Or were these walls 10? I think these walls were actually 10, so we could change it to negative 10, and I think we'll have enough room. And then we'll pocket from there at, how wide was this thing? It was like 113.25 minus 10, so 103.225 is how much we want to pocket that off. There we go. See that? Okay, so we're going to have to do another pocket for the hole on the top there. But I think that will give us that piece. And we'll basically print it from this edge up here, from this face, upwards. And that should give us a good piece there. So now let's go to the front one. And what we'll do is we'll come in here and we will take this pocket sketch and we'll push Control Z, Control C for copy, okay? And then we'll push Control V and see it's down here is number 14. We'll delete. Okay, never mind. We'll wait to delete that. So we need to put this into what? Into their front 001. So if we put it in there, now we can delete this. So it's like it needs somewhere to attach it. Okay, we're learning things. So now it must be attached to this area. This picture says bar stools hurt, man. And it has a picture of a dude swinging a bar stool over his head. Anyways, that's gonna be distracting. Okay, so now let's put their front one into location. And we're going to leave both of these in here now so that we can make sure we pad this correctly. So this should be right there. So we're going to move this attachment to negative 113.225, right? And that should put it right at the edge of our model there. Then we'll pocket that way 103.225 to get that edge. You know, and this is just a way to make sure that we're, working efficiently on our workflow. We don't have to redo this. We can copy and paste. I would recommend that because obviously this is going to make this a lot faster for what I'm doing. Okay, so why do we get it? Oh, we have to put this body as active because it wasn't. And then we can pocket 103.225. Okay. And that should give us our exact deal there. So that's what we want. So now we're just going to have to put some holes in this for the switch plate. The switch plate will poke through this, hopefully. Let's bring our CB up here. So that should be plenty of room for this switch plate to kind of poke out of. The only thing that I don't have designed in here is a place to put the GMRS radio. But kind of what I'm thinking about doing is just like mounting it to this hole on the back here, because either with a bracket, or it really doesn't have to look pretty or anything, it just needs to be held on by something. And instead of trying to engineer their whole bracket thing that they have, like, because they have like this whole, there's no bolts in this thing, it like slides in. You guys can't see that, but I'm actually sliding it out. See, it slides into this little bracket here. Let's see if I can get that correct here. So this is a Midland radio. So instead of like trying to engineer these grooves like I was going to, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screw this thing through the center right into this CB hole right here. I should have room for that. And then this has no screen or controls on it. It's just the radio, and all the screen and controls are actually on the part that you hold to your mouth, the microphone or whatever. So I don't need this to be visible in any way. I just need the wire to come out. So this will work on the back of that. That's the only part we're not going to design in. And then that way, that frees a lot of space for our phones to sit. So that the switch panel will be there, and then our phones will be above it. So, see, I told you this is going to be complicated. the beginning of this, but I think it's going to be nice. It's going to be a lot better than what I have right now. It's going to be sort of out of the way, and it will work well with the bed. Okay, so let's make another set of pockets that we'll do. Now we're getting into some, like, you know, harder stuff. Like, I wish we could get this harder. I guess I could search it. I mean, I have done royalty free, like a little bit harder. Like, it's kind of a nice little riff there. Okay, so let's go back to their front. And what do we want here? A sketch. And where do we want this sketch? I think what we want to do is just to, like, kind of go out this direction. So let's do the YZ. Okay, let's figure out which one I'm on, because now I'm confused again. Let's do that. We'll mute that one and mute that one. Okay. So what we need to do is make a hole. No, we can't use that. We need to make this one. We need to basically just make a hole through this, like this, right? However it goes. Okay. So let's get right on that. I have to remake that now, because is it? Okay, no, it stayed on a plane, even though I wasn't on a plane. Did it? Is this how this works? I've never tried to draw off plane. No, it drew on the plane. Okay, so we gotta make sure that we don't draw off plane here. Let's put this as a 90. We want all these. We want to square this up so our line is square here. There's really, it doesn't have to be, but I just would like it to be. Okay. So this one should be automatically grandfathered in there. Okay, so I need to figure out what kind of angle. Like, this thing needs to be parallel with this thing. So what I'm going to have to do here is make a construction line and then angle this to that in that same angle, which I think was 123, I want to say. Let's go to this pocket. This will tell us the angle, 123.69. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a construction line. Okay, where's my sketch? Oh crap, I'm doing this on the other sketch. Oh well, that's alright. So I actually need to highlight this one, because this is the one that we're actually working on here. Not like it matters, but let's go around to the right. And then where is my model at? I lost it. I hate it when that happens. Okay, there it is. Okay, so where's my sketch at? Why did this? Oh, I need to be in it. Okay, so we're actually working on this one right now. Okay, it's 123.69. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this button, and all these are going to turn blue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line here, and I'm going to make it. Oh, it already has a horizontal. Okay, good. See, I can't see it all the time, right? I mean, I can put that anywhere. So this line will not print or whatever, right? No matter what you do, this line, it's just kind of pretend, and it's going to give us our angle here. So basically, if I put this on this, if we do one of these, so now it's on it, it will always have that angle. If I click on this one and click on this one and do that, I want a 123.69. Okay. So that's fine. It kind of messed the model up, but it doesn't matter. We just need that angle. Okay, so we're gonna bring everything back over here. Okay. So see how now this is parallel with this. So I'm sure there's other ways you could do that. This is the way I'm choosing. So yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we are going to, let's move these out here so that I'm less confused about what's going on. So now we need to know how big we want our hole to be. And we have to remember now that I'm trying to keep this faceplate here. So this will go into the hole and screw in. So we're going to have to do screw holes, which I probably won't. I'll probably just put it in there and drill the holes because it's just going to be easier to CAD and print. A lot of times I will put the holes in, but I just think I'm not going to today. So the outside of this is 68. The actual hole that we need is at the smallest 39. So we'll probably do like 43. Okay, 43 or 42 should be plenty. Let's do 43. We'll do 43 by, I think, .43 by 127 should be good. So the 127 will be the width, which we'll have to half. So this part right here will be 43 millimeters. Okay, so basically it's going to be hard to see this about what we're doing here, but if you think about it like this, okay, this pocket will go through that. We'll start it at this edge and go half of 127. So that'll be what? It'll be 50 plus half of 27, which is what, 13 and a half. So 63 and a half is what we'll do there. Let's fully constrain this. It doesn't really need to be this big. Like, only needs to be like that or something. So how long is that one? We'll say 20. Okay, so now we need to constrain it in space, and we do want this to be like half of whatever this is here, right? Or some stated deal. So this is 43. What is this one? .72 about. So we need to sort of locate that. So if 72 minus 43 is about 29, right? Or so that we're at about 30. So if we go 15 millimeters down from this top point, with or 10 or something, maybe we should do 10. It being up a little more would be better, because remember the CB's down here. So the higher we go, the less interference issue we might have here. So if we can figure out where this point is and put that down 10, or something like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. We just have to know about where it is. Okay, so this is minus 130 over from that. So we could use that. Let's see, that point. Because so if from here to here, if we go over, so if we just do 145, right? So that gives us 15 over, which isn't going to be exactly 15 here, but it gives us a point, right? Did I do that? Oh, there it is down there. Like, why did it go clear down there? Okay, so now we need it up and down. So actually, let's like kind of put it on it, and let's do. What if we do like 140? Where does that put us at? That feels right. Let's try that. So we'll do 140 there, and then top to bottom, we'll try to get it to just be above like that, just so that it definitely cuts it out. Top to bottom, we will be, let's say 220. Okay, so this way, if we had to redraw this, we could use these 2 points in space for the other one. But I think we're gonna just we're just gonna copy this thing anyway. So where am I under constraint? oh, my blue line here, and this really doesn't matter at all for any reason. Okay, 110. And then we could just constrain it down to, like, it doesn't, this line doesn't matter at all, 180. Oh, that'll break the model, won't it? Okay, sorry, alright. My apologies, we'll just leave it at whatever it is. Oh, it won't even let me anyways. Ah! Okay, alright, sorry. I didn't mean it. Where is that thing? So what has happened here is the error message went behind. See that? It went behind the thing, so I couldn't okay it, and then it wouldn't let me X that. And okay, so I'm not fully constrained. So if I make this dot constrained. Okay, there we go. Close. Okay, so now we're gonna pocket this, but we need to move. Let's move it to the edge here first, and then we'll reverse pocket it on the other one. Which I don't know where that edge is. I don't remember what the length of that is. Minus 113, but it's not exactly, is it? It was minus 113. Okay, so I need to go to this pad. What is it? Minus 113.22. That's what I need this to be. Actually, I think it was 225, but it's cutting that 5 off. Trying to screw me up with half a thinger there. All right, so then if I pocket there over, so if this is if we take 10 off of, oh wait, no, we need the width. So what is the width? The width was what, 127. Okay, so half of that is what? Why is this? No. So half of that, I already figured this out, didn't I? It'd be 63 and a half. So 63.5. So that should be enough there of a hole. And then basically I just do it minus 63 and a half for the other front, right? Okay, I don't know what is happening. I don't know why I did that. Minus 63. It's not letting me do the 63. How come I can't do that? Cancel. Okay, what is the problem here? Can I not do minuses in pockets? Because I have to push reversed. Okay, why do I have a little line right there? Okay, so it is doing 0.22 and not 0.225. So if I go to 0.23, then it gets rid of the line. Okay, so it's rounding and it's not good. I'm trying to be accurate here, computer. Come on now. Okay, so there we have our hole, and basically, hopefully this is enough space here to cover the top plate, and then this switch box will drop into here, and it will screw in there, there, and there, and I will just make those holes when I print it. Okay, so now, look at all these parts. So now we need to make the holes in these pieces. So let's just real quick for fun of it, put the CB back in, see how this is going to go. So we have a problem here. When we make the pockets in, I guess when I make the pockets in this bit in here, these two faces will go away, because that area is where the wires are going to have to be for the switch plate there, right? So I guess I still need to make those pockets. Hopefully this looks better when I get it in there. It kind of doesn't look very good right now, and hopefully when I kind of do a round off these edges, which I don't know if we should we try that to see if that's going to even work right? So I can do a 3mm rounding. It will let me do that. Okay. So now if I do the front back one, and then I click on this edge, and I do another 3mm fillet, is that gonna kind of jive? Yeah, I mean it looks alright here. I don't know how it will print. I have to like see how it's like different angle. You know what I mean? Am I gonna have to like body work that? Or am I gonna have to make this the same angle for this to work correctly? Is this gonna bug me or not? See what I mean? Look at this. See that little guy? I don't know. I think I'm gonna print it and see, and if it isn't right, then I'll redo it, I guess. I think it'll be fine. I can put a little filler in there and body work it up and then paint it, which might not be a bad idea. I don't know if I did mention this before, but the PLA bracket that I made for my air switch is not warping in the sun so far. So far, it doesn't seem to have any deformation, and all I did was paint it. And so I don't know if it's the UV that affects the PLA, you know what I mean? So, or what, but okay, we need to not have any fillets in this, so let's delete these fillets. It's a good experiment there. Northern Lights from Hell Remastered. That's what this is called. Just in case you were wondering. So the only problem that I see here is, how am I going to screw these pieces to these pieces? Is this where I'm going to have to glue? Because yeah, where I have my pocket, I don't think I can now add a piece right here, because it's gonna pocket it out if I added a piece there, won't it? Can I add a pad after a pocket, and will it override the pocket? Like, what does it go in, like, order? Guess we're gonna find out here. So if I add a padded sketch onto this, so where do I want this thing in space to my deal here? So it's going to need to be on this side, going down. So I actually almost think if I choose that one, because yeah, so it's going to be right here. So I need a circle right here. Okay. And that uses this line. So I need a circle right here and maybe right here and maybe right here. But for now, let's see. So which one am I working on here? This one. So right here and right here. So I'm on this one here. Okay. So I need to figure out about how far away this is. Turn off construction geometry. So I need to put one circle about there. One circle somewhere in here, and I need to know where that is. How am I going to know how far out this thing is? Is that the... How does that... Let's see if we can figure this out. So it's the front line here. So we have our back. So that's where our front is. So it's minus 130 plus this distance. Plus 60. So it should be minus 190 on that first one. Let's just do one at a time here so that I can keep it straight. So this one from here that to there should be minus 190. Let's mute that. Go back to the task. So this to here. So it won't let me do that direction. Okay, so that should put it right on the edge. And then we need to half this circle and go inwards. So that should put that right where we want it, and then we will trim this backside here. So this is what we want. And then I don't know how big to make this. It's 20 millimeters. It's huge. It's huge for a screw. So let's maybe go 10. Okay, and then we can kind of constrain it from this side with a length minus 150. We'll say. Okay, so that should be somewhat normal. Oops. Okay, so that should be what we want there, right? So it will, it will stick out, I think. No, maybe it needs to be 20 so it sticks out more. Okay, we'll make it 20. So it gives us. It's just gonna have to go through here and give us some meat to screw into from the bottom up, right? That's basically what we're looking for here. Okay, so now let's figure out our sideways distance, which is the pad. It's the pad plus itself. It's I think it's that 113 number. So what is this? 113.225 times 2. It was 226.5. Okay. Okay. I don't know what this needs to be. We're just going to kind of make it even. Minus 160. That should be fine. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll do the same thing to that. So let's mute that off, and then we'll grab one of these. Okay, so we might be able to copy this sketch too and make it for the top and the bottom like how we did before. And so let's constrain this at 20, just like its other one. So there we go. So this should be 2 tabs. I think it will be hard to reverse it for the other one, but we can basically just utilize, we might be able to utilize some of these numbers to kind of get our other one. So I'm going to take a picture of this on my phone, so that if we need to use it for the other side here, because we're going to have to do the same thing over there, and hopefully this even works, because this is going to have to override the pocket. But we can check here real quick. We can kind of see how that works. So you see how this is, oh, this isn't going to work. I need to make these way bigger, or we need to move them. We actually need to move them over to these lines, right? It's good that you're going to check that. So this one should probably be minus 216.5. Okay, there we go. This one, I think that's 5. Minus 185. That one was that one that we don't have the exact, so let's say it's like minus 182 or something. We need that to be attached though. Minus 183. So maybe it's minus 182.5. That looks pretty close. So I'm going to call that good. Then this one we're going to have to watch it so it doesn't pop out the top on how much we actually pad it. And hopefully this will just kind of be strong enough to do what we need it to do. Okay, so there's that. So let's close this sketch, and then we will attempt to pad this. So we're going to have to move it up to our model. So what one were we on there? Let's change the view to the bottom, I believe. Okay, so actually we don't need the bottom. We need like this side right here. I'm going to move that up to there. Okay. And I don't remember how tall these are. So I think if we go into here, because we need to move that to there. So how tall is this? 177.8. So close that, go back to this sketch, go to our Z and put 177.8. That should put us right at the bottom there. And then we can pad this. Maybe. Okay, good. So what we don't want is this right here. So should we do 9 millimeters? If we do 9, will it? Okay, good. We don't want that poking through, but we want enough meat there to put a screw through. And so that's going to be our limit for that. And I think that's going to be okay. And so now I can either put a hole in here. And so if we push okay, good. So it overrides this pocket. So the thing goes in order. The freaking complicated pieces here. You know, it would be nice to have that go all the way up just to add a little strength and stuff, but I think it'll be okay. I'm not worried about it. And I'm not going to, you know, do any sort of like fillet to any of this. It's all going to be hidden. So it doesn't need to look good in any way. It just needs to kind of be there. Um, yeah, and I'm also not worried about these not being connected, because the actual switch plate will connect them with screws, and then it'll be connected here too. So it should strengthen all that up. If it becomes an issue, then I'll come in here and make a little hook or something right here to where these two connect in some way. Maybe a dowel through here, like one side has a pokey bit and one side has a hole. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so now we need to do this same thing on the bottom, which might be hard. Because what do we have for the bottom here? So let's go to the front. So we're going to have to do it on our front piece and our left piece. But the same, sort of the same deal. I forget what I'm doing, but I think I can just copy this sketch. Control C. Okay, Control V. See, so now it's down here. And now if I can make this bigger, then I can move this sketch to front B2 and then delete that. And then so now if I go into front B2 and open this sketch, what happened? I think I copied the wrong sketch. No, it's all upside down and backwards. Okay, so now the one that we are going, so we need to just delete this one. Let's get our model set up here a little better first, because we don't want this one visible here. So, and we are going to have to move this so that it attaches to this, because this was that funky measurement. So we'll have to make it bigger. Well, I'll probably have to actually make this one bigger, but it'll be inside, so it won't matter. So, let's see. So 180, 183. Does that move it enough? Oh, what happened? Minus 183. Okay, that works. So let's make this like 25. Okay, so just so that it will cover it. It doesn't have to be that shape. The screw is going to be like 2 millimeters, and it's 12 out, so it'll be plenty for that. And this, all of this is just not necessary for this. Okay, so was that faster? I don't know. Okay, so we need to pad that now. and it's already attached, to reverse pat it down because our other one is up. So close that and hit the patter, reverse it. Should we do 10, 15? I mean, I don't know how big my screw is. Maybe we should do 5, because my screw doesn't have to like try to poke all the way through it. You know, and I'm hoping that this will be strong enough. I know it's 3D printed, so it's like, why are we getting a error there? I don't know. So it's interesting. So it's almost like we also need to move it over too on that bottom one. So let's do that, I guess. Because I made it bigger is kind of the issue. All right, we're going to call that good. See how it kind of like pokes out the same here, but it's wider there, so I think it'll be fine. Right? Do we like that? So we can just like drill a little hole in there, put a screw in that's not longer. You know, I'll just drill this one completely out that's bigger than the screw, and then I'll just kind of tap the screw into this plastic, so it should be good. You know, it's not, doesn't have to be like totally pretty. Just kind of hold this to this, you know. I think it'll be okay. What is holding this front panel to this other side? Did I just do thick walls? I think that's what I did. I know it was like last night, but okay, I have these. That holds this to this one. Yeah, I think I just did thick walls, so I'm just going to be screwing holes. Oh yeah, because you're not going to be able to see that. That like runs up against the seat or something, so I don't have to make that nice. I could pocket some holes in there and give myself screwed holes to begin with. Maybe I will. Yeah, this is, how many hours am I into this thing? I've got to be like 4 or 5 hours into this model now. Yeah, it definitely is the most complicated thing I've ever 3D printed. Okay, so I hate to make this like an 8-part series, but you know, and I don't know if anybody's going to continue to watch this because the rest of this is repetition, I think, right? And so I might just turn this thing off and cruise, or I might just let it stream and stop talking and throw on some actual music, some copyrighted music, some of that good stuff there, and you guys can just, you can listen to this and I'll listen to the real thing, you know what I mean? Just kidding. This music's actually really good. I like it. So thank you to a lot of these have been on this channel. It's called Techno Axe's Royalty Free Music, and it's a playlist, but a lot of them have been on this, or this is one long video. It says describe the vibe in the comments, or in the, yeah, somebody in the comments or something. I don't know, or that's what it's telling me to do. Well, that's what YouTube's telling me to do, describe the vibe. So anyways, I'm going to pocket the rest of this out. I'm going to stop talking on this microphone because I'm tired of it. I have to sit at this weird angle to see this computer. So, yeah. So the rest of this is going to be that, I guess. But I think I'm going to pause it and go get some breakfast, and then I will come back. So the next stream, I won't talk much, and I'll just knock the rest of this out. Basically, oh, well, you know what? It won't be, though, because we still need to make these. We still need to make this part. The phone holders, right? And that is actually going to be necessary. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably just knock out the rest of all these pockets and stuff and get this to a state to where I'm going to make the phone holders, and then I'll make the phone holders the inserts, because they're going to be inserts, and I'm probably just going to print them out of PL or out of TPU. So this will all be PLA to start, and if it warps, then I'll reprint it in ABS. And then, because I have some and I just need to use it anyways. And then what I'll do is I'll print these phone inserts in TPU. So they're kind of like, it's not so much for the rubbery aspect, but for the sticky aspect. So you can throw your phone on there and it's not going to like fly around. When I go around corners, it's not going to slide. You know, it'll just stay. And then, you know, we could do some other things with finishing this, like I said, we could Bondo it and paint it, you know, or you could even like put some like suede, you know, or something in your PLA or your TPU things. I don't know if that would be good or not as far as it sliding around. It would probably make it slide, but you could do something, finish it. You could put carpet around it or whatever. I mean, whatever you want to do, you know. But I'm going to stop streaming this and go make some sandwiches, and then I'll come back and cut all this stuff out. I'll just make it the next one, which will be 101 in the playlist, and then we'll just finish this top part off. I do still need to put in some of the screws in here too, so hopefully I don't forget to do that. But I think this is coming out, and then you know, who knows, over the next probably 2 weeks I'll be printing all of these pieces, and you know, some of them I might be able to print together, like this one and this one. I might be able to print these two as one piece, and then I wouldn't have to put screws in the front. And to do that, by the way, all you have to do is just select like this one, and then hold Control and select Shift. No, how do you do that? There is some way to do it. So if you hold Shift, it works. But see how it goes all of them? Oh, so Shift click and then Control click. Why doesn't Control click just work? Oh, it does. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Okay, so this one and this one. So this one and this one. So if I just click both of these bodies, see how these two are selected, and then I go File, Export, it will export the model as just these two bodies. So the reason that's useful is because I think I have enough build plate. If I printed these straight up and down like this, which I might do, I could select these two and make them one part. Then that way I don't have to screw in the front. And so I might do that. I might do these two as one part, and then I would only be screwing the backs to them. And that's probably the way I'll do it. You know, the other options are I could make like these two one part. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I already did the connection from here to here. There is no connection from here to here. So I could... Well, I want to print these on this face because that's going to give me the best look. So I kind of don't want to make that into one part. I want to connect these. So I can make these one part and these two one part. That's probably what I'll do. These two one part, and then I'll print this alone, print this one alone, screw those in, and then this will all be one part and it's one body. So, and then this will all be one part and it's one body, then this, and then this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll have 8 prints to do. Okay, well, I'll be back in a minute for 101, and then on 101 I'll get rid of all this extra, and maybe even build this back piece. I need one back piece back here for that, and finish the cell phone pockets. I'll start printing this thing maybe today when the plastic comes. I bought some tan plastic to kind of match the interior, so we'll see how that turns out. But thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you on the other side.